Hey Gemini, welcome to Key Wisdom. My name is Ruth, I'm your Reiki Master and teacher, and this, my darlings, is your extended reading for this time period, September into October, my darlings. We'll do as we always do. Sun, moon, and stars. Oh, excuse me. Sun, moon, and stars. Okay, so we'll look at your divine masculine, your sun first of all, and that's everything that you're going to be experiencing, oncoming energies, etc., for the month of September. The second row is the moon section of our reading, which is everything that's going on beneath the surface, our divine feminine, our intuition, our instinct, etc. Anything that's hidden from our consciousness, our conscious minds. And then in the final section of the reading, we'll look at the stars section of your at this time period. So we'll be looking ahead to October, and we're going to be looking at what type of things are going to be coming towards you. Okay, my darling, so your destiny, if you will. Okay, my darling, so yeah, I'm going to get started. Already powerful activation energy this month. You are being activated. You are being activated. You are being activated. So some of you could be experiencing a form of awakening, definitely Kundalini awakening for some of you. That means energetically you're more aware. Your consciousness is more engaged. There's an awakening for you guys this month. Significant. Significant. A significant shift in your ability to manifest, and this is simply because, Gemini, of your ability to release all the things that you have released so far this year, especially over the last 3 months. This is time to put into action now. Time to put things into action now. Maybe some trepidation on your part, but because it's new, and you know it's new, what you're doing's new, how you're behaving's new, how you're moving is new, what you're doing is new, how you're applying yourself is new. And so yeah, there's elements of trepidation, but also an element of confidence, underridden by an element of confidence. You know where you're going and why. You know why. This is the card at the base of your reading, and this is a 3 of Pentacles. Now, the card at the base of the reading is the overall energy of the time period, your overall focus. It's interesting. Before I, when I was preparing for this reading, this third chakra was activated immediately. I was drawn to this here specifically. I do is the solar plexus affirmation, and the power center of self-confidence, self-esteem, and manifestation. Number 3, this is exactly what this represents. This is exactly what I'm feeling. It's activation. It's almost as if you have been activated and you're able to now do. I'll know more obviously as we look at the reading, but that's intuitively, and that's obviously further represented by this energy here and by the link to the third chakra already. Okay, so 3 of Pentacles energy, where we put our energy and effort in order to manifest security in our lives. So what we do, where we focus things, how we direct our energy, and ultimately we want, in our direction of energy, we want to feel secure, we want to be secure, we want to have security in our lives, we want to have the markings of security, whatever that means to you, to me, that needs to be manifested. I need to feel secure with Pentacles energy. That's what we do. And for you guys, this is the energy of putting in your pentacle, putting in your 2 pence worth or your 1 pence worth. That means that because you're behaving decisively and you're behaving over this time period in a way that is sure, I'm putting my energy in, I'm using my energy in a way that is certain. I'm acting in a way that is authentic to myself. These are the type, this is what you're doing. Other people cooperating with you. The universe is also cooperating with you. This is a time to manifest. It's a time to see. Let's have a look then at the oncoming experiences. for you in the month of September. So we start with the Queen of Cups, then we have the Nine of Swords, picked up on that trepidation already. There's another three of Wands, and a Five of Wands. Bear with me. Now, the oncoming energy is the divine masculine for you. So this is what you're going to be experiencing, what you're going to be seeing, what you're going to be encountering in the month of September. We start with the Queen of Cups. Cups energy is all about our emotional self, your emotional self, and it's about it's an understanding of your emotional self. It's an understanding of your needs. It's an understanding of your intuition, and it's an understanding of your desire. It's an understanding of your what is necessary, the compassion that's necessary for yourself. You understanding, being compassionate towards yourself, behaving in a way that's compassionate towards yourself. This is like acting, again, you're sort of, in a sense, not in your comfort zone, but you are still moving, you're still acting, you're still engaging with your emotional self. This is the thing that's helping to move you forward. We have movement here, energy here, actual actions, things that we're doing in this month, and these are represented by the wand energy. But this energy here shows an understanding. Divine feminine is all about our understanding, and it shows an understanding of our emotional self, of our emotional world, of our desires, our need for compassion, etc., etc., our need for love, things that we do love, etc. This is what it shows an understanding of that. And with it being in this position in the divine masculine area, it shows that you're acting with that understanding. So the things that you're doing this month, you're acting in harmony, in a sense. You're behaving in harmony with your emotions, with an understanding of your emotions, with an understanding of your emotional needs, with an understanding of your intuitive needs as well. That's how you are actually behaving in this month of September. And as I said, I said to you already, with the cards already face down, there's trepidation. We sense trepidation here. With trepidation at the new that's coming ahead, but also at the way that we think that you think. And we have here the Nine of Swords. Now, sword energy is all about your mental consciousness. Sword energy is all about your engagement with thoughts, your ability to think, what you think, how thought is formed, how you perceive things, how these things go through your mind, if you will. That's all related to the sword energy and our consciousness, our awareness of this process. The Nine of Swords shows an awareness of our mental processes. It shows an awareness of our thinking, where we're able to look at our thinking, we're able to see how our minds work, how these thoughts go through my mind. People call this card the Dark Night of the Soul. I just think they like it. It sounds very poetic, that, doesn't it? The Dark Night of the Soul. But if we know that sword energy is representative of our mental consciousness, we know this. Sword energy is representative of our mental consciousness, our predispositions, our perspective on things, our ability to think, etc. There are 9 of them. We know that 9 is a foundational energy. We know that 9 is related to the Hermit energy. We know that the Hermit energy is related to inner, searching within for answers, going within for answers. So we know then that this is about the answers of our mind, what's in our mind, the things that are contained within our mind. And this is about seeing those things, being able to engage with those things. Some people, as I said, there might be a energy or elements of trepidation. That's not stopping you from moving or acting, as we see here. It's not stopping you from moving or acting. When I see this card, I celebrate, because it means the only way we can move forward is to know where we are now. The only way that I can move to the next step is to know where I'm at now, right? And this is what we see here. We see all those thoughts displayed for us. This is a way that this is one way that our awareness is activated, that our enlightenment is activated. This is one way that our evolution is activated. When I say evolution, it means that we evolve out of certain behaviors, or of certain ways of thinking, of certain ways of being, certain ways of expressing ourselves. The way that we evolve out of those things is through our awareness. We see an awareness on all these levels so far, on our emotional level, on our mental level. Now we move on to the energetic level, the feeling, the want, the will, the action of movement, of doing. This is the number 3 I've already explained number 3, this I can, I do, power center. It's all about our self-esteem. It's all about our ability to manifest. We know this. We also know that wand energy is related to, or is actually representative of, our life force, our chi, our ki, sometimes known as subtle energy. Ki is in Reiki, you know, that Reiki energy. This is what the wand energy is representative of, and not only that, it's representative of the move, that feeling of move, that feeling of the act of doing, not the thinking about doing or the planning about doing or the considering what to do. This is the do. This is the feel. This is that shorthand people say the ship's coming in for this energy. So this is that it's we've taken time and energy to get to this point. Now we know. This is the energy of knowing that it's time to go, knowing that it's time to go, knowing that it's time to move. There's a very real conversation this month going on for you on multiple levels of your consciousness. So your mental consciousness, so what you know, what you think, I'm going to do this, I'm going to say this, but also how you feel, as in emotionally, intuitively where you're guided, but also this energy of also almost being pushed by the universe or almost being pulled in a specific or certain direction because it's time, it's ready. This is the energy of the wand energy here, the 3 of wands, and this is what we are seeing here. Now, this is a card of things coming toward us. So there's an anticipation of this energy, an anticipation for you. Maybe you can feel it now when you watch this, just as we enter September, if you're watching it then. Maybe you can feel it now, or whenever you're watching this video, you can feel this now of, it's time. It's time to move, it's time to go, it's time to do, and the action of going. And because you're trying to or going to and attempting to manifest something, a new form of security, a new form of whatever, I don't know, your life. Now, when I saw this card, I mean, it's Sunday, I wasn't planning on doing any work today, but the energy came and it's time to do the work. So I got up and I did this work, and I was actually just read something, not about this card, but something that I read today, and I immediately was like, this is what I'm always trying to explain with this card, the 5 of wands. Now, this 5 of wands is really an energy of, I usually say friction. This, it brings about change. It's how change is manifested externally. It begins on the inside, this internal sort of conflict. Not conflict, friction, this friction. This is the thing that creates the energy for movement, for change. This is what this energy represents. It's the energy of, and I'm going to tell you what I read today, the energy of wrath. Now, let me read this to you, and then I will, wrath. I'm gonna, where will it, oh, there it is. Let me read this to you. This is from the, one of the on the books I read, Liberation by Hearing in the Intermediate State, otherwise known as the Tibetan Book of the Dead, which is ultimately a guide to spiritual growth, development, mindfulness, meditation, etc. That's what this book is a guide to, okay? And it has a really good glossary of terms in the back. I'm going to read you what it says about wrath, and then I'm going to tell you how this directly relates, this definition in here, 8th century definition, don't forget, is related directly to this energy, okay? Let me read it for you. One of the 4 aspects, wrath, one of the 4 aspects of enlightened activity. The concept of wrath in the context of the Buddhist Tantra should not be understood in terms of even the subtlest egocentric violence or fierceness. Wrath here refers to the natural transformative process of Buddha mind, the aggressive natural transformation of deep-seated conditioning which underlies mundane deluded consciousness. Okay, now ultimately what this means, what this is saying is that wrath, i.e. the 5 of wands, is directly related to the natural transformative process of the aggressive natural transformation of deep-seated conditioning. Deep-seated conditioning, wrathful transformation. Ruth, what does that mean? What it means is our perceptions, in a nutshell. What it means is that we perceive the Five of Wands or an experience of, if I'm feeling angry, if I'm feeling sad, if I'm feeling lost, whatever, we interpret or perceive those things, those experiences in a certain way. We perceive experiences in a certain way, in one way, one that we are conditioned through our experiences in life, through our thoughts, through our actions, etc., through our encounters. Those things help us to perceive experiences in certain ways. So I experience pain, etc. You know that. This is the natural transformation of those perceptions from one thing, from our normal perception, from the way that you perceive something now, into the natural way that we should perceive it. So I'm somebody who always says there's a blessing in everything. Everything's necessary. There's a blessing in everything. Some people see these cards and they get afraid. They'd be scared. They'd be upset. They'd be, why am I seeing death? Why am I seeing the devil? Why am I seeing the Tower? Why am I seeing the Five? This is bad. This is bad. No. What needs to happen is that your perception of that energy, or your perception of someone lying, or your perception of being cheated on, or your perception of whatever experience you've had, there needs to be a transformation of how you perceive it to the reality of that experience, to the karmic reality of that experience. The Five of Wands absolutely shows that natural transformative process. That's what this card indicates. It's a change, yes. It's a shift, yes. We may see conflict, blah, blah, blah. We may have anger, blah, blah, blah. We may misunderstand, blah, blah, blah. However, this shows that our perception about something, about how we perceive something, is transforming. Now, remember, it said Buddha mind. What's Buddha mind? Buddha mind is about pristine cognition. Buddha mind is about clearly understanding for real the truth of an experience. That's Buddha mind. The natural truth of an experience. That's Buddha mind. Being able to understand that instantaneously, seemingly. That's Buddha mind. It means that we release the old ways of thinking, the old ways of feeling, the old ways of perceiving. That's what this energy represents here. And not only this energy, but this story of September. What this story of September is showing this natural transformative process that's occurring in your perception, in how you perceive something or have perceived something about yourself, about other people, about experiences up until this point. That is what's transforming. And that means that before September, I know it's not been easy for you. The 3 months came to mind, 333, right? Maybe that's just why. But at least for the last 3 months, maybe for the last 3 years for some people, Gemini, there has been a lot of confrontation that you have dealt with up until now. However you perceived that confrontation up until now you see the benefits, the blessing, the truth in the difficulty, the challenges, the intensity that you've experienced. Now, from September, this is what we see here. That view, the old view, oh, this is all bad, everything's bad, my life's terrible, it's awful, everyone's awful to me. That view is transforming into a real, true understanding of the benefit of the experiences that you've been through. Beautiful. So activation energy, this is what we're seeing. So let's see what's going on beneath the surface, because this is what you're facing, this is what you're dealing with. You are having those conversations with yourself, but there's stuff going on beneath the surface, and we want to see what. We've got the 7 of Pentacles. We've got the 7. I'm laughing. I'll tell you who are in a second. The 7 of Swords. We've got the Page of Pentacles, and we've got the Empress. I'm laughing. Another lesson that I was doing earlier in the week was again looking at the consciousness, the 8 aggregates of consciousness. Now, there are 8 forms or dimensions, if you will, of consciousness. That means there's 8 different areas that we can be conscious of, not just in our mind. So we have deluded consciousness, we have the ground of all consciousness, we have mental consciousness, which is the sword energy. And then we have visual consciousness, we have gustatory consciousness, we have olfactory consciousness, which is our nose and mouth, and we have tactile consciousness. And is that 7 or 8? I think that's 8. Anyway, so we have these different levels of consciousness. So I was looking at this, and I was looking at the, how our minds, because as I said, mindfulness, it's all mindfulness, but it's not magic, it's mindfulness. So I was looking at this, and I was looking at our minds, and I was looking at how our minds perceive, if you will. We refer to those in Buddhism, in Tibetan Buddhism, we refer to those as dissonant mental states. And that is ways of thinking, if you will, ways that objects, if you will, things that arise in our minds that make us think a certain way, make us perceive things a certain way, make us feel a certain way. And there are 6 dissonant mental states, and there's 20 subsidiary. And those are here, the 20 subsidiary. There's a reason for this, and it's all related to number 7. See, number seven. So just bear with. So there are 20 of them. So these are the subsidiary mental states, dissonant mental states. There's anger, malice, fury, envy, miserliness, dishonesty, etc. There's 20 of them. And I wrote down the 20, and I thought there's 2 that I don't really understand. I've never seen that word before, dissimulation. I'm an English teacher for 10 years, a writer, published. I've never heard the word dissimulation. I love words. And obfuscation. I kept thinking that it was about obscuring, but it's not. So I thought I need to look what those words mean. Let me tell you what those words mean, because these 2 words, dissimulation and obfuscation, absolutely in this order, actually. Let me do it this way. This is dissimulation, and this is obfuscation. Now, again, these are traditional Tibetan, Buddhist, 8th century, Pradhammasambhava, he was the one who came out of India, and he was the one who established Tibetan Buddhism in Tibet in the 8th century, right? So this is where this comes from. And as I always say, my work is mindfulness. That's what I do. So let me explain to you what this means, what this word dissimulation means, what this card, 7 of Swords, actually means, because this is what beneath the surface you're feeling, and this is something that we need to recognize. All we have to do is just to notice that this is where our mind is. That's it. This is where your mind is with this card. Concealment of one's thoughts, feelings, or character. 7 of Swords. 7 of Pentacles. Obfuscation. The action of making something obscure, unclear, or unintelligible. Now, let me explain to you what these cards mean for you in this position. What it means is that beneath the surface, in our moon part of our reading, so that means that things that might be hidden from us, as I said, there may be a tendency, if you will, that's unknown to you, to conceal my own thoughts, my own feelings, and my own character. Let me ask you that question, is there a propensity for you, Gemini, to conceal, may there be a propensity for you, Gemini, to conceal your thoughts, feelings, or character? That's what this card is asking. That's why it's being highlighted here. This is something that is unknown and maybe unknown to you. When I was meditating on this energy over these days, and the word dissimulation, remember, this is a dissonance that we notice when it arises, so that we can mindfully experience what it feels like, and we can karmically evolve out of this state of mind. Me was this. I didn't realize that I was concealing my true thoughts, feelings, character in some aspects of my life. This isn't lying. It's not It could be sometimes it can be. Sometimes people can lie, and we'll know in a reading we can know this. But in this instance, no. Especially in these positions, no. This is about your unknown concealment of self. Now, remember what we said. This is the type of things that's going to be coming up to the surface now. This is the type of thing that you are transforming into. You're transforming into the awareness that there are, I think it's good to hide who I am. We're told that. We're told don't show, no, you can't say that. You can't say that. It might, for whatever reason, it might hurt someone, or they don't want to know, or no one's interested, or whatever. You shouldn't say that because whatever reason people say that we shouldn't be who we are, we shouldn't live how we want, we shouldn't say what we think, we shouldn't show how we feel, because big girls don't cry, because boys don't cry, whatever. We shouldn't do this. By doing that, we are engaging in the energy of the Seven of Swords. And this can be something that we do unknowingly. This could be something that we do because we think it's best for everyone, because I shouldn't tell people how I feel because I don't want to hurt him, I don't want to hurt her, I don't want to hurt them, I don't want to let them down. And so we dissimulate ourselves. We conceal our true thoughts, our true feelings, for whatever reason. This may be unknown to you because it's in this position. So the question or the energy for you this month is to, well, actually, no, this is what's going to be coming up for you. This is what's going to be coming up. Look at where it was positioned. I mean, I just moved them to around for the definitions, but the position, it's positioned beneath this. So these are the things that are coming up from. So I think that's going to be the turning point for you. The recognition that I have been hiding how I feel. I've been hiding how I feel, what I want, my desires are. You've been hiding those things, and this is the thing that we are transforming out of in the month of September. Obfuscation, the action of making something obscure, unclear. Why are you doing something? This is what this card is. Examine your motivations. So like in this instance, I'm not telling them, I won't say that I don't want to join, I don't want to do that job, or I don't want to move into that house because I don't want to upset them. But what happens, so that's the reason, right? But what happens is you're putting energy into moving into this house, or for this job or whatever, and you're feeling dissatisfied, even though you're doing everything that you think you should do. And the reason is you're for yourself making things unclear. What you're doing is you're putting energy into something you don't want to do for whatever reason, maybe the noblest of reasons. You're going to agree to quit your job so that you can stay at home and look after the kids, for example. That's a very noble reason, right? It's a very noble reason. But what you're doing is you're putting energy into doing that, and you're still feeling dissatisfied. And the reason is because you're telling yourself that the reason you're doing this is because that's what you want to do, because it's good. I want to do this. I want to quit the job and look after the kids, or whatever it is for you in your life, right? But you're still left feeling dissatisfied. Well, the reason you're feeling dissatisfied is because you're not able to face up to the truth of why you are doing, why you're putting your energy in this space, in this area. Just be honest with yourself. That's what this is about. And this energy is about what we see beneath the surface this month is coming into that realization. This stuff's not going to be hidden from you for long. And it's bubbling beneath the surface. When I say this energy, it means that this has been a process that's already been, the process has already started, babe. The process has already started. You might see the fire, you might see the change, you might see the intensity, the sort of confronting yourself, if you will, in the month of September. You might see it now. But the process has been ongoing, babe. The process has been ongoing, as I said, especially for the last 3 months, if not the last 3 years for some of you. This is what we're seeing here. We're seeing a truth, a reality coming ahead. And like I said to you right at the beginning with this is the Pentacles energy, right? So what it's showing is this is you giving your 2 pence worth, or your 1 pence worth, as I said at the beginning. This is what you're doing here is the Page of Pentacles. This is what you're doing with this energy. But where this energy is coming from, again, like I said to you, it's like there's something that is driving you to do this, because ultimately you know that confronting these things, by having those, whatever it is you're doing in your life, however your life is, however your awareness is shifting, in whatever way that is shifting this over this time period, what you need to put your energy into this, because this is the right thing to do. You know that, you feel that, and you're supported in that, and the world and the universe and the people around you will support you in that. The truth is important. The truth is the only thing that is important. That's it. So it's as if you know that, even if it's hidden from you, even if you don't understand why you have to have this conversation now after all this time, or after, or at this time, or whatever. Is it the right time? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it is. And you feel it is, even if in your mental logic mind is saying it's not the right time, they're not well, or whatever the reason, whatever's going on in your life, right? It's not the right time, da, 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 da. And yet you still do, and yet you still say, and yet you still confront. And you should. And this is showing that this is where this energy is coming from. Ultimately, we get another number 3, 333. We've had 333. We get another number 3. Ultimately, what we're showing is this is expansion, and expansion works in this way. It's a coming together of those things. It's a coming together of two things that creates a third. So it's the coming together of your conscious awareness and your emotional self. Your conscious awareness and your emotional self, they come together, and that is what's expansive. That's the number 3. 1 + 1 = 3, and that's because it brings about a growth, an exponential growth, in a sense of, if I know my mind how I feel, knowing how I feel lead you in a new direction, one where we don't know, I do not understand, I do not feel. So there's no coming together of those two things. So we're kind of wandering in trying to commit, trying to bring these two things together. When we bring these two things together, there's an expansion, and what that means is there's growth, and there's growth in ways that you cannot recognize. You don't know now how things will change. You don't know now how confronting a situation, or how confronting this thing about yourself, or how saying how you truly feel about this person, this situation, this experience, whatever, you don't know what the outcome's going to be or how things are going to play out. But what we see with this is it shows growth, it shows abundance. What that means is it's like there's a domino effect, in a sense where a lot of things will be revealed, more things will be revealed, more things will be felt, more things will be manifested, more things will be said, etc. I don't know what they are. But it shows a maturation. A maturation, like maturing, a maturing of your thoughts, your conscious mind, together with your emotional self. What springs out of that, what grows out of that, what manifests out of that is abundance. Abundance in a sense of love, abundance in a sense of compassion, abundance in a sense of stuff, whatever, abundance in a sense of opportunity. It can be anything, but it shows that these ideas, or these things that you've been thinking or tackling or dealing with beneath the surface, if you will, out of view of everybody else, those views, those dispositions, those shifts in your consciousness and your awareness are going to start to bear fruit. And what that means is that we're going to start to see above the surface shifts and changes. That means we're going to be, as I said, manifesting new things, having new experiences, behaving differently, speaking differently, and that's going to bring in new experiences in our life, things that we can't predict what they are. You can't possibly predict how this confronting, this being honest with yourself, being truthful about how you feel, realizing that you feel a certain way, you think a certain way, and realizing that that's something that's held you back and that you now need to change, etc., etc. Whatever it is for you as an individual, you can't see the benefits now, but there's going to be huge benefits because of it. Okay, so let's look at what's going on as we move forward. So as we move into October time, what can we expect? Look at this. So I want to see. So when I talked about maturation, so we go from the page in September to the King of Pentacles in October, as we enter October. So this is showing that maturation, this is showing that confidence, this is showing that that strength, almost that I feel clear-headed, I feel I feel like it's clear. The way ahead is clear in a sense. It's kind of like, you know what you got doing now, you know where you're going. So if there's some sticky moments for you internally, emotionally, mentally, recognize that it is you just in this place and you're moving out of this place. This is the sort of the how you evolve. So this is like the moment before the evolution. There we go. Look, we have the Lovers next. So we have the King of Pentacles, we have the Lovers, we have the 10 of Wands, and we have the World card. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So I say excellent because what it shows is it shows me movement, and it shows the things that I've said already, maturation. It shows that the spark or the will, the desire to change, to shift, to move, to realize, to tell the truth, to be authentic, to feel as though you are happy, as also just thinking that you are happy. Those things will see a movement, a shift, a change, a coming together. And that is why I say excellent, okay? Because it means that you go through the process and you're navigating it, you're plodding, you're going with it in I see steps like this, steps, you know, you're going through it, but you're experiencing it. You're not avoiding it. You're not avoiding what you're experiencing emotionally and mentally. You're not avoiding what you're experiencing in September. You're not trying to avoid it. You're just sitting with it, and you're allowing it, and you're going with it. You're going with the flow of what you're experiencing in the month of September, even if you as I said, you're challenged by the emotions or the realizations that you have, you and the truth that you have to say, or whatever. You're going with it, and this is great to see. We have the King of Pentacles, so we have Divine Masculine here, and this is the Divine Masculine is the sun, as I said, so it's the direction that we go in, knowing, being able, the way clear, the way ahead is clear, if you will. That's what this is showing here in this position. For me now, it's showing that the way ahead is clear. So this is showing that the way, you know, you started off tentatively, okay, not knowing, you know, how much of this is the universe's help, or how much of this is your old stuff, and how much of this is you actually doing. Well, you started off tentatively when we couldn't see any of the cards, and that's just got stronger and stronger. You know what you can do, you know what you're able to do, you know how to direct your energies, and this is what is finally helping you to feel secure. This is what's finally helping you to feel confident. This is what's finally helping you to feel abundant. So that's excellent to see. Then we have the Lovers card number 6. So Lovers card number 6, you know, we have, it's a very activating card, this energy here, because what it activates is, we have this, it's linked to our 6th chakra, our 3rd eye here. It activates our perception. Our perception center is our 6th chakra. It's our perception center, our psychic consciousness, our wisdom, our intuitive ability, the power of our mind. But not only those things, not only our conscious self, not only our minds, but also our intuitive self. This is it, like, when I said it's like those two coming together, this is what I see here. It's like you're coming together, your divine masculine self, so your actions, the way forward, what you're doing, but also your intuition, your divine feminine, your experiences, your memories, all these things that are sort of a part of, that have become a part of you, and that have always been a part of you, if you will, the wind behind you, if you will, everything that's non-physical that is you, if you will. All those things, the coming together of that divine feminine aspect of self with your divine masculine, which is drawing us forward, which is lighting the way, which is making you take steps. You know that what you feel and what you think, what you want and what you say you want and what you truly want. You there's a connection between those things. There's with the Lovers card. Now, can this relate to love? Of course this can relate to love. You know your life. So if it's about love, this is about confronting it in love, isn't it? It's about confronting the truth about how you feel. Like, do you feel worthy in this relationship? You know, have you treated yourself as that way? Have you treated yourself fairly in this relationship, or your pointing further, blah blah blah, whatever. So you know your life, you know what's going on. Yes, if it could, does it mean that you could have a relationship and fall in love? I don't know. I mean, maybe, you know, you know where you're at in your life, right? So I feel the significant energies for you guys are these energies here, the 5 and the 7s. You know, these are your significant energies. You know, September's a significant time because that is where you've got to get into that mind frame of knowing. That is where you've got to get into that. And this is your energy, Gemini, as well, isn't it? So, you know, you show up here. So this might be you naked as a baby, naked as the day you were born, you know, open, truthful, honest. And it shows that you've potentially, well, we know when we see this energy with the 10, we know that we've been, as I said before, you've been on this journey, you've been doing this stuff, you've been distracting yourself, you've been making commitments for reasons other than this is what I really want, or this is what I love, or this is who I love. You've been making commitments other than that. This is showing the end of that with the 10 of Wands. This is showing the putting down of those responsibilities, the putting down of not even responsibilities, it's like distractions in a sense. Sometimes with this energy we distract ourselves with things, with you know, committing to things that we don't really want to commit to, and we don't really engage with the reason with why we're doing it. Well, we do engage with that in the month of September. So for you guys, I just know that it's like this. It's like it's time to put this down. And I feel that anyway. I feel like there's like a nakedness, like a truthfulness, like a the opposite of obfuscation. Yeah, there's clarity that's coming through. It's like, this is how you'll be sleeping. Yeah, this is how you'll be sleeping, just like my baby right now. Yeah, you'll be calm and peaceful in your mind as we enter the month of October, because you've been honest, you know, with them, with you, with whoever. Yeah, you've been honest with yourself, and this is what brings about that new start for us. Ultimately, that absolutely the new karmic experiences. Absolutely, this is what we bring. This is what is brought about. This is like a rebirth. We see with the Fool card. You know, this is you in the womb, if you will, decided that that old life, I'm over it. I'm over that old life. I'm over that old way of thinking. I'm over that old way of perceiving. I'm over that old way of acting. I'm over that old way of behaving. Now, you know, but didn't it teach me a lot? It taught me this. It taught me that. It gave me all this perspective. It's given me all this wisdom. This is where you'll feel as you get to as we get into October. So this is what you're feeling. So this is what I like to see, because it's showing that the foresight, the high side. Yeah, let's say high side. The high side that you have, the higher level of understanding that you have. This is what you have as we begin this first week of October. So it's an interesting time period for you guys. It's interesting how the work that you've been putting in over the last 3 months, but longer for some of you, is finally bearing fruit. And as I said, in ways that you can't even know yet, you know, that it's the awareness, always the awareness only, the truth only, that is healing, that helps us to heal. Only awareness, just knowing, that's it. Just hearing, that's it. Just knowing the truth about how I'm feeling, just knowing the reasons why I'm doing it, just understanding the impact that's had on me. It's only that leads us to our growth, to our expansion, and to our ability to manifest new experiences into our life. And this is exactly what we see here for you guys over this time period. Okay, my lovely Geminis, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Keep your eye out for extra stuff. I'll be posting, along with something about consciousness as well. I'll be posting it anyway, so just keep an eye out. If you've not subscribed, do, and do the bell and all that stuff. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now because I can't be bothered. Tiny, look at him, he's sleeping. Have a wonderful Gemini, wonderful time period, and I'll see you all again at the end of the next month with your brand new reading. Okay, take care, my darlings. Bye.